Alright, hello and welcome. If you're just tuning into the VOD, for this replay we will see a 1250 Udyr replay. Go ahead and get started on that in just 1 second here. Hope everyone is doing well. One thing is that I need more replays, so please send them in. Even if you've submitted a replay and I haven't done it, send a new one in. If you've submitted a replay and I have done it, send a new one in. Just please send me replays. If you go to my website, that's rockalockalili.com, and click on the contact me / submit a replay tab, I have instructions there. Please follow those instructions to ensure that I receive your replay and consider it fully. Other than that, yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Things are going okay for me. I'm like really busy with real life stuff and really stressed about school things, but besides that though, you know, I'm doing pretty well. Sent it to me zipped, so I gotta extract it. Go ahead and scan this. Oh well, it's scanning my whole computer. Never mind. Okay. Alright, we'll go ahead and get started. So this is like a 1250 ELO Udyr game. This is on a normal game for the submitter, but the ranked ELO is about 1280. So 1280 ELO. Hopefully we'll see some good stuff to talk about. Ooh, Udyr versus Udyr. So our Udyr is Wadey91 right here. Let me change my scroller text real quick to remind people about the website and IRC. Okay. So our Udyr, the good Udyr, is Wadey91 here. Excuse me. So when you're jungling, you always want to look at your jungling matchup. So we are against another Udyr. So that's fine. You know, it's a mirror match. So you don't really have any advantage or disadvantage over them. And then you want to look at your lanes and see, okay, what lanes am I going to be able to gank? What am I not going to be able to gank? And so on. I'm a little confused about your team comp. It's clearly a lower elo in normal game because you don't have a support. You have Ashe and Mordekaiser, so you have two mids. So you have an enemy Ashe and an Ashe on your team. I'm interested. It looks like it's going to be Volibear and Ashe, I guess. Okay, so when you're jungling, you want to look at your lanes and be like, and the opposing lanes and be like, what lanes are going to be gankable? Because some champions are very hard to gank when they're on your team. Like, it's hard to gank for them. Like Mordekaiser, it's going to be pretty hard to gank for Mordekaiser. He has no CC built in, and it looks like the enemy top lane is going to be Gangplank. And Gangplank's just going to be able to, like, scurvy your stun and then run away because he's going to be faster. And so it's going to be really hard to gank Gangplank top. I wouldn't recommend that you waste any time trying to gank top. It's just not going to be worth your time because it's going to be very hard to kill that Gangplank without CC. Mordekaiser, yeah, Mordekaiser doesn't have exhaust or anything either, so it's going to be almost impossible to gank that GP. So I wouldn't worry about top. But if you look at your bottom lane, which is Ashe and Volibear, that lane has a lot of CC, especially once Ashe gets 6. But even before 6, with Volibear fling and Ashe slow, there's a lot of kill potential bottom for your ganks. And then mid, TF has great CC with, you know, with his gold cards. So strong CC mid. Mid's going to be against a... Oh, it's another mirror. Twisted Fate. Wow. So 3 out of the 3 champions are mirror matches here. That's really funny. Okay, so standard here, Phoenix using Phoenix twice to get the wolves. You can use Phoenix just once. Ooh, TF mistimes his wild cards. That was a big mistake. You can only use Phoenix once on wolves if you get a better help, but you didn't get very good help. That's a ghetto. Make sure you always want to have your smite kill the buff in general. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my bad. Sorry if that was loud. But in general, you always want to have your smite kill the buff, just in case the enemy jungle is just like chilling in this brush to try to mess you up and smite steal it. Just want to make sure. One thing you could do with Udyr, against an Udyr it doesn't work, but Udyr clears very fast, and sometimes if you're much faster than the enemy jungle, immediately after getting blue, you can go to their red and steal their red. It works especially well if you get a strong enough leash blue that you don't have to smite it, but I guess you're going to go back to wolves after this, which is okay. This wastes some travel time, but if you're worried about getting too low from the red or mini golems, then that's an acceptable path. That's okay to do. The only problem is this does waste time if you're not worried about getting low. It does waste time. So, and actually, Mordekaiser taking your double golems. I don't think that's worth it for him. He's getting really low from that. He's just not strong enough for that. And that's one thing. When you're a jungler and you have Mordekaiser in your team, Mordekaiser is going to take some of your jungle. It's just what he does. He's just trying to help you out here since he was nearby. He did a good job. He didn't want to steal XP or steal those minions, but he was about to recall and he saw you're doing red. He's like, "What the hell? I'll just help you out." But when you're jungling, and you have a Mordekaiser on your team. Typically, Mordekaiser goes mid, so it's weird to see Mord top. But when Mord's mid, he's gonna farm both Wraith camps if he can. So when you're jungling and you have Mord on your team, you just need to expect Mord's gonna take like one of your camps pretty much every cooldown if the Mordekaiser knows what he's doing. So. You've cleared really well. 20 CS. You have the highest CS in the game so far. We don't know what the enemy meter is, but it's probably the same as yours. So they're saying bot's not warded. With red buff, you can definitely get a kill bot, especially if it's not warded. Because like I said, Volibear and Ashe, that's a very strong CC combination. Volibear is getting low though, so yeah, they're gonna be low after this gank. Or this engage. They do force Leona flash, so when you come down there, hopefully you were watching that. So one thing, when you're jungling, you want to be watching the other lanes. Like, you don't need to watch yourself kill wolves. Like, you know what's gonna happen. So hopefully you saw that and you saw that Leona just burn flash. Now you missed your gank window. If you look, their lane is pushed to their turret. You aren't going to be able to dive this. It's really dangerous to turret dive Leona because of the ridiculous amounts of CC she has. So you're not going to be able to dive this. So it's a waste of your time to come down here. All you're going to do is you're going to sit in this bush. Well, maybe. I mean, if you're just going to sit here and waste time until their lane pushes out, I don't even think that's worth it for you. Because it's going to be a while before they really push out. But, I mean, maybe if you get a good... Since they don't have flash, if you get a good flash stun into Volibear flip, it could work out. But Voli's kind of low. And you're wasting, like, almost a whole minute right here. This is really bad. And you see, there Udyr is going mid. Yeah, you don't even end up getting a kill here. In fact, you might drop down. Yeah, so... Oh, the big turtle shield. Okay, so you live. But, you just wasted like a minute to wait for a bad gank opportunity and then forced a bad gank that wasted your flash, almost killed you, brought Ashe very low to where she's going to base. So where they had a huge advantage because the enemies didn't have flash, they were going to be forced to play very passively. And these guys were going to win the lane without that jungle, without what you just did. So, huge mistake by you. And this is one thing, like, as a jungle, don't ever force ganks that aren't there. That gank was not there. You missed your window. Ashe said come bottom, and you said hold on, do wolves first. Well, your window to gank that was if you didn't do wolves. Because by the time you did wolves and got down there, they were already at their turret. So, The other thing when you're jungling, you always want to pay attention to the timers on your buffs. So your blue is going to spawn in about 40 seconds. The other thing is that there's a very good chance Udyr just warded your blue. When you saw Udyr walk into your jungle, you should immediately hit tab and see if he has a ward in his inventory. And if he did, then and he no longer has that ward when you see him again, that probably means he warded your blue. So you need to be careful of that, and just be aware that there's a good chance Udyr could be stealing your blue. And you're really far behind now. You're ahead of there, Udyr, still. But, I mean, you're far behind what you should be because you wasted so much time trying to force that gank that wasn't there. So, very good job by you. You do realize your blue buff is going to spawn and you're going to go secure it. Very good play by you. It would have been a huge mistake if you went for this double golem camp. Hopefully your TF comes soon. Looks like he's coming. So... Mordekaiser is going to go take your double golems again. And this is like I said, anytime you have a Mordekaiser on your team, you just need to be aware that he is going to take your double golems, or if he's mid, your race all the time. You should just do these wolves before you recall. They just respawn to you right here, and you're not going to die to him. So a little bit of wasted time there. The big thing I'm seeing with your jungling is like you just can't waste time. You can't sit in a brush and wait for a minute for a gank that's not even a good gank. When you finish these wolves and you looked, you should have realized, hey, the wave's at their turret, I can't gank that. And then just kept farming your jungle instead of wasting all that time. And then, like I said, it's just a bad idea to turret dive Leona, and we saw exactly why. That the CC she puts out is just ridiculous. And this is what you're doing. So this is one thing I'm seeing in your jungle. Ganks need to come naturally based on what the enemy team's doing. But how you're trying to set up ganks, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do race and then I'm not gonna have anything else to do, so I guess I'll look for a gank. And that's not the way you want to go through ganks. For ganks, ganks should come at a natural time when oh, sorry, I'm missing this gank. Okay, so you forced the flash, which is good. I don't even think TF needed a flash there, but maybe. But good forcing the flash. But gank should come at natural times when the enemy is overextended and the gank has like a high chance of succeeding. So, but here you're kind of wasting time. I guess you're warding their blue buff. But remember, Udyr probably started blue. He probably just took his second blue at about 7:30, just like you. So this ward isn't even gonna see this blue buff spawn because it's gonna spawn at about 12:30 probably, right when your ward ends. So that blue is going to be completely useless. And this is going to go back to where I said don't gank Gangplank, and this is bad timing on your gank. Look, the wave's pushed up. You're not going to be able to gank him. And so you just wasted another like minute 30 seconds where you could have cleared your entire top jungle in that wasted time because you strolled up here, warded blue when blue was not going to be there and is not going to be there for the duration of your ward, and then you sat top and just wasted more time. So this is really the difference between like levels of jungling. Strong junglers, like very good jungles, don't waste time doing anything. Everything is efficiency for good jungles. You don't waste time sitting. You don't waste time camping a lane when it doesn't work out. You don't waste time like warding their blue when blue's not going to be there. Actually looks like you're going Wriggles, so don't go Wriggles when you're going Phoenix Udyr. That's not a good build. The core item on Phoenix Udyr that you should get every game is going to be Wit's End. And then your boots, you're going to want to get either Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads, depending on the amount of CC the enemy team has and what their damage type is. Like this game, Merc Treads is going to be like necessary for you because they have Ash Arrow, Leona Stun, TF Stun, Udyr Stun. They have a lot of CC, so... Oh, okay, so this is one thing I just noticed. So their Udyr is actually Tiger Udyr, which means you clear way, way, way faster than him, and which means you can counter jungle, kind of like what you're doing now. But you're actually, let's see, 46 CS to Udyr's 36, so you're still ahead of the enemy Udyr, but he's had some successful ganks, so you're behind in that regard, but you're definitely ahead in the clear time factor, which you should be since he went Tiger and you went Phoenix. So, and you would be so far ahead if you hadn't wasted time with that bot gank and hadn't wasted going top. You could probably have 15 more CS. You could probably like you could still be up at the, above like your Ashe even with your TF if you just hadn't tried to force any ganks and just sat there and farmed your jungle. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people starting out or lower level players when they're jungling don't realize. They don't realize that it's totally okay to just farm your jungle. There is so much farm to be had in the jungle. Good flash stun by you does pick up the kill, so very aggressive flash stun by you, and it worked out really well. Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about timing though. Look, it's 11:41. What's going to happen in about, oh, I don't know, how many seconds? His blue buff is going to spawn. That's going to happen really, really soon. And then you went to go check his red buff. That was silly. Udyr had his red buff, and now it's on Twisted Fate, so you know that his red buff isn't up. So it's just little things like this you can do to just make your jungle more efficient. Like, you should know, like, oh, Udyr had his red buff, therefore it's not up. And, so you don't have to go check that. But good Ashe arrow coming down. Oh, from both sides. Good Leona stun on you. They are able to pick up the Ashe. We get the Ashe Ghost, which is going to be really good. But you're too low to back out, so that's okay. But anyway, like I said, don't build Wriggles on Phoenix Udyr. You don't need Wriggles for the you don't need the sustain. Tiger stance is great for sustain. You don't need the damage. Phoenix stance does tons of AoE damage. It's much better to just go like in early Heart of Gold if you want. That's kind of optional. But just rush that Wit's End boots too, and then just build really tanky. And that's how you want to build and play Phoenix Udyr. You just become this tanky wall that's just a pain in the ass in team fights. You just run up to enemies, and like in team fights, you just charge their carries and go crazy. And that's how you want to play Phoenix Udyr. You're just like this unkillable wall that just is really annoying in team fights. So. Yeah, and there's the blue that spawned. Like I said, when you went to go check their red buff, their blue buff was about to spawn. And now that it's up, TF's dead, so there's a good chance. Yeah, okay, it's still there, so you can definitely get this. One thing you want to do, pull it into this brush or pull it out further. The problem with being right here is if their Udyr just walks up here and sits in this brush, you don't see him, and then he just smite steals it. That's something that easily could have happened there, and so to avoid that, you either pull it into the brush, which is a little dangerous because you're going to be very close if more than one person comes, or you can pull it up here so that it's not quite in range, so that they're going to have to leave the brush and you can see them if he wants to smite steal it. But the other thing, you should always buy wards. You bought one ward early game. You might not have had enough when you bought, I didn't look, but always buy wards if you can when you're jungle. Oh, so good job by Ashe and Volley picking up a kill. So another kill on Leona. This should be dragon for you guys. So you guys should be immediately looking to turn this into a dragon. Oh, get out of there though. Don't dive once you see TF ulti going down. So big mistake by Volibear. Oh wow, GP ults just to kill him. Complete waste of a GP ult, but that was a really good play. You guys had picked two, and then you threw it away by Volibear diving that turret, which is a big mistake. You probably could have gotten Dragon. Maybe not since GP was down here, but because GP is down here, Mordekaiser is going to get this turret. So this is really good. You guys put enough pressure bottom lane so that GP was forced to come bottom. And by GP coming bottom, it saves Dragon, you guys getting Dragon, but it costs them in inner turret. And so that's a really big deal. So Mordekaiser is dealing with two people now. It looks like, oh, he's actually not able to get the inner turret. Ooh, Ashe arrow going out, I heard it. Ooh, he flashes in, he's gonna just try to take down the Ashe. I wish you looked over here so we could see health bar. It's just the epic battle going on, 1v2. He's still alive. Oh, he takes turret hits, gets stunned in turret. Oh man, how is this guy still alive? I wonder how much life he has. He does a spell vamp and a decent amount of HP. He didn't look over here the whole time. That's okay. So that's a bug with, it's not really a bug, but that's a problem low replay has. That's not really, it's not really going to be fixed. Okay, so more work going down bottom. Looks like Udyr goes again, kill Volibear, but he dies for it, and TF dies too. So this is great dragon time. You really need to go, really need to go take dragon right now. Like, there's no reason not to. There's two top. 2 dead. This is a free dragon. And as a jungle, that's something you should always be looking for. Always be looking for when can I take dragon. Mord finally goes down. But like that was such a free dragon. GP even ulted top. That's a big mistake by you right there not to get that dragon. Just such an easy opportunity to grab dragon. So you got their blue. I think when I looked, it was like 13:30 or so. So their buff is going to be up in about 2 minutes. So it's 5-minute spawn times on all jungle buffs. So do be aware of that. There's a good chance that you are going to be able to steal that. So just be aware. So your farm is okay. It's definitely higher than the enemy Udyr, but like I said, since he went Tiger, that's expected. It could be higher though. Like I said, just don't waste time as a jungle. Like right here, I'm not sure what you're doing. You know they probably have dragon warded, so they probably just saw you. Oh, maybe not though, because they're going on this fight. So, oh, TF's there though. You need to abandon ship. So as soon as you saw that TF right there, you need to just leave. You were a little slow in reacting and you had to flash. I think that you're just a little faster in reacting. You would not have had to flash right there. But, yeah, that was dangerous. There were too many MIA. Like, we didn't know where everyone was. This is dangerous. Your TF's going to port in, though. Talking crap about your TF, that's 3-1 and 2. But good for you to not just sit there and waste your time in the mid turret. They don't need you to defend that turret. TF's just going to be able to clear waves. So you just went and cleared your wolves. They are definitely doing dragon though, so you need like a hawk shot or something. You are going to be able to just come in and smite steal that. So always look. Oh no, they just got it. So you could have tried to smite steal that. I mean, depending on. Well, one thing you can look at who's higher level between you and the enemy Udyr. He's 8 and you're 10, so you're higher level. That means your smite is going to do more damage than him. Is it 25 a level, or I don't remember exactly how much per level smite goes up, but your smite would do like at least about 50 damage more than his. So you definitely would be able to smite steal that. You could have flashed over the wall, but here's the thing. You guys don't need to make a play right here. You just need to slow them down and prevent them from stopping Mord, because Mord's just pushing all day. So this is they keep sending a bunch of people bottom, and it's working out okay for them because they're getting kills bottom. But what's happening is Mordekaiser is just putting so much pressure top lane, and he's making them pay for that. So it looks like you're going to go steal their blue, which is really good. And this is something that happens because Mordekaiser is pushing so far deep. They really don't have control of their blue buff right now because of Mord's dominance on that top lane. So good read on your part to go ahead and steal their blue buff. You should clear it out though. You should clear it out so that you have the timer. Like you should don't leave it so that it doesn't respawn. Because like I said, Mord has so much control of this lane, they don't have control of this blue buff. If you know when it's going to spawn, you guys can get that buff every time it spawns because you don't have control of it. Oh, what is Mord doing? Alright, so flashes over the wall. They flash with her, but you're right there to help him out. You guys need to leave though, because you know that Udyr is just around the corner. Mord actually is going to be okay. Oh no, he's dead. I forgot his Tiger Udyr. He does way more burst damage. You can probably just fight this if you turn around, since TF's right there. Actually, you force him to flash. So, yeah. Okay, I was gonna say when he flashed on you. So you misplayed that pretty bad. What happened is when he flashed on you and stunned you, you needed to either immediately stun him back. Your stun came out really long, or you needed to immediately flash away. You either needed to just stun him and fight him, activate your stances and just fight him, like bear stance stun, turtle stance shield, then phoenix stance damage, and go with TF to fight with you, or you needed to just run away and flash immediately when he did. So big misplay by you right there. Someone flashed. I think they just fail flashed and tried to go through the wall, but anyway, as I was saying, you should have cleared out their blue buff. By clearing out their blue buff, you would have known the respawn timer, and you would have been able to steal it as soon as it comes up, because Mordekaiser has so much control over this top lane. So, okay, now you have your Wit's End. So I guess maybe you want to go Wit's End Blood Razor or something, since you're not turning this into a Wriggles. But you really don't need this Razors. I would really recommend that you keep that as like you just don't get that. Yeah, you should have given blue to TF. That's a really good point. You don't need blue on Udyr. Like you don't need to spam your stances very much at all. Like you shouldn't have mana issues at this point. You really need to get Merc Treads. Also, it's like 21 minutes and you don't have boots too. And as a melee champion, that's a really big problem. You're gonna get kited really hard without that move speed. You know, they have TF and Ashe, very strong kiters, and without boots too, and you know, specifically Merc Treads, you're gonna have a really hard time catching up to anyone. Even with Bear Stance, you know, Ashe hits you with Frost Arrow. Now you're still really slow. So, in fact, I would just go base and buy those right now, because it's incredibly important to get boots too at this point. You're in a very dangerous position right there. That was pretty scary. You guys are all split. This is a really bad fight. I don't know why Volibear went in right there. You can't go in on this though. Like, you're probably just gonna die now because you went in. At least you killed GP though. Well, you actually get out with the flash, so that was really good. Ashe is dead though. So your team just stayed way too long. There's no reason like to be in mid and look like you want to try to force this fight when you don't know what any of them are, and when you know that Mordekaiser is top. Ashe is really mad, saying that you don't have team play. Well, that's because Ashe and Volibear came from this side and initiated a 2v4 while you guys were up here, and you're all split really bad, and then it ended up being a 2v5, so it was really bad. Morda actually might 1v3 them. Or the exhaust comes out really late on him. Yeah, Mord's gonna 1v3 them. Yep, and this is Mordekaiser is so ridiculously strong. He has 187 CS because all he's done is just push top and farm all day, and he's just crazy strong right now. Yeah, I was just saying Mord should be fighting with us, but no, what needs to happen is you guys need to not fight without Mord, is what should happen. And Mord just died. Oh my god, he killed TF. I didn't realize TF was so low. But now he's dead to the turret. So that's pretty funny. You guys can Baron off that, right? He just took out 2 people. It's 5v3 at that Baron. Free Baron for you guys. So one thing I'm noticing with the jungle play is you don't look for dragons or barons when you have the opportunity. There is an opportunity for a completely free dragon. This is an opportunity for a very free baron that you're just not even looking for as jungle. And as jungle, you should be the main person who's calling these in a solo queue game. The double Ashe arrows. In team fights, your bread and butter stance is turtle stance. Like, you want to be turtle stancing every time it's on cooldown for that shield. Unless you need the bear stance, stun, or move speed buff, you should be turtle stancing every cooldown. And the other thing I'm noticing in your Udyr play also is you're not keeping your passive at 3 stacks, which is really important and something you really need to do. So, you guys just lost that team fight really hard, 3v4, which is really bad. I was too focused on your play to really see what went completely wrong with that fight, but I think just really poor positioning on Ashe is costing you a lot of things. But you have your Merc Treads now, which is really good. You have to be careful about going for this dragon because they could be going for Baron. They're not, because this is a lower level game. So there's a few ways to tell when you're looking at a game to estimate what the skill level of the players is. And one of the first things is like CS, and we see that it's 25 minutes in, and Mordekaiser is the only one with 200 CS or higher. So that's your first instinct that this is a lower level game. that like the CS of everyone is like 100 at 25 minutes, and that's just really really low, and that just represents that these players have lower mechanical skill. The other thing is that they're just not objective focused. So you see like you know, you kill like 3 people bottom and you have 4 people here and you don't do dragon. And Mordekaiser kills 2 people with a giant stack of minions at their half health inhibitor turret, and you have 4 people in the Baron area and you just walk past it. And like, it's just stuff like that. They're just really bad plays. And those are the things that separate like tiers of players. Is lower level players mechanically are more porous, they don't CS as well, and they don't focus on objectives. So oh, Mordekaiser going in. He's so crazy. He's dead. So, as soon as you saw Mordekaiser go in like that, you need to just go in with him, because Mordekaiser is huge right now, and he's really your team carry. So, TF couldn't get a gold card fast enough. But as soon as Mordekaiser went in, you need to just go in with him. Mord's kind of like, he's your team right now, and everyone needs to act like a support for Mordekaiser because he's so strong. Go on that brush, yeah, and make sure, okay, they don't take blue buff. And this is another thing, like, look, they just killed you guys here right in front of your blue buff, and they don't even check to see if it's up. And that's the kind of stuff that you're just not going to see in higher level games. So. At this point, you should be looking at buying probably some armor, like a Randuin's would be a really good idea right now, because they are a physical heavy team with GP, Ashe, and Tiger Udyr. So armor is going to be your best friend in this game. So definitely start looking at getting a Randuin's Omen, and you're probably getting pretty close to it. You definitely have the Warden's Mail. You're about 450 off, so. The other thing to notice, like, you guys just have no wards on the map, so in a situation like this, you just don't know where anyone is, and it's very dangerous for you guys. Like, you get Ashoed right here, and you guys are all dead. In fact, that's what's gonna happen to TF. And that comes because you guys just can't be pushed out, like, to here if you don't know where any of them are with only 2 people. I think you're actually out of that if you had just simply bear stance and run instead of bear stance and turn to stun. I think you would have lived. Ashe is dead though. Ashe is being really really dumb. So she doesn't live. But Volibear and Mordekaiser are pushing an inhib while that's going on. So it actually works out of you. Yeah, she says so dumb of me. So Volibear has the right idea. When you have a player who's off doing his own thing, and you guys are just keep getting caught and keep dying, and there's 2 things you can think. The first is you can think, stupid Mordekaiser, why is he never with our team? Like, oh, we would win if he was just with the team. But that's not really the right attitude. The right attitude should be, why are we fighting without him? Like, why are we in a position where we're being forced to fight without him? Wow, Ashe dies to the turret. So the right attitude is that you either just stay with him, like what the Volibear just did. TF ports without a gold card. That was really bad. But Mordekaiser is gonna pick up that kill pretty easy. Gets the TF ghost. You guys should just stay with Mordekaiser at this point. Like, Mordekaiser is so strong, he has a ghost. Everyone should just stay with him and just support him. And it's kind of like what I was saying, is when you have a player that's that strong with that much CS and everything, you don't need him. Or, like, everyone should just change kind of their attitude and how they're approaching the game and shift into just having everyone support that player, so. I'm just going to start fast forwarding here as this game goes on to the later stages. Ashe comes out bottom. Mordekaiser, they're focusing Ashe though, and Mordekaiser's just gonna kill everyone. So, looks like you're applying pressure mid, which is fine. Wow, Ashe just missed a point blank Ashe arrow. Yeah, Tiger Udyr probably is gonna be able to 1v1 you as Phoenix Udyr, especially because he has 9 kills, so he's really strong. So I definitely would run away from that. So good job there. So good job by Ash to not die there. Their TF port's in, but too late. You could have chased that. Like, Volibear's there. This is... I don't know why you backed off from that. Udyr's there, yeah, but Volley's here too, so... This is a 2v3? Yeah, this is a normal game, and it's a big mirror match. There's 3 champions that are the same on both teams. So you guys are losing this this 2v3. You guys are just getting kited really, really hard. Ash is almost there though. Oh, TF dies. I was gonna say you guys can turn and fight once Ash is here, but I can't stress it enough. You guys should just stay with Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is so strong right now. I'm eating a Jolly Rancher. I made some Jolly Rancher vodka this weekend. You just pretty much put a bunch of Jolly Ranchers in vodka and it disintegrates. And it was really, really good. And I drank way too much of it Saturday night. But it was a lot of fun. I played a bunch of all random, all bottoms. I don't remember like any of them. But it was fun. I probably played with some of you guys maybe. I was just like inviting everyone on my friends list until the game was full. So if I did play with you Saturday, GG's, it was fun. Let more tank this as you start to get low here, as a big thing. Good smite, but you're too low and you're just gonna die now, so. And that goes, you should have let Mord tank that. He had shield up and lifesteal, he could have tanked that as you were starting to get low there. And so the way Baron aggro works is, Baron Nashor will attack the person that's standing closest to him. So if you just backed up a hair and let Mordekaiser stand in front, he would have been able to tank that and you wouldn't have been quite so low, you probably wouldn't have gotten blown up. Also, it didn't look like you were mashing Turtle Stance as much as you could during that Baron. Turtle Stance is really important to get that lifesteal going on. Okay, ideally what you want to do is you want to proc Phoenix Stance attack 3 times to proc the Phoenix damage, and then switch to Turtle. Alright, fast forwarding. So now it seems like you're caring about Dragon and Baron. But you need to start caring about them a lot sooner than 33 minutes into the game. You're doing a good job of checking for their buffs and stuff too. So that's good. At this point, just follow Mordekaiser. Say good. You're with Mord. Oh, no. Stay with that guy. At this point, like, you guys just got Baron. Why are you farming your wolves? You just got Baron? You guys are so strong right now. Like, I don't understand why, like, you're farming your wolves instead of with Volibear. Now this is 4v5 with a terrible Ashura, so this is a really bad fight. They're completely ignoring Mordekaiser though, which is really good for you guys. You need to get on Ashe though, so... Okay, pausing this. There are a few really, really bad things that you did in that fight. The first is that you stayed on their Udyr the entire time. What you needed, well, Ashe just chunked you. What you needed to do is just charge Ashe. What that does is it forces Ashe to run away and stop attacking, so they lose a big chunk of their DPS. The second thing is you needed to use your Randuin, so you needed to charge up right to the Ashe's face and Randuin's her. That significantly reduces the DPS, A, because she's panicking and running away, so she's not attacking, and if she does attack, her attack speed is significantly reduced. Like, Ashe is not going to be able to just sit there and attack you while you're beating on her face, so you needed to just charge that Ashe, and you probably would have won that team fight, no problem. So, big mistake by you right there. But they focused you instead of Mordekaiser, so you guys are definitely going to clean this fight up. So looks like you are going Bloodrazor. I would not recommend going Bloodrazor. You do plenty of damage with just Wit's End as Phoenix Leader. You actually do pretty decent damage. So what you need to do is you need to get you just need to get tankier. You already saw that you dropped pretty quickly in that team fight, and you need to just get tanky so that you can charge their Ashe and just be up in their face. So I would not recommend going Blood Razor. If you really want damage, Trinity Force is okay. I guess Blood Razor is okay. It's just so expensive. It's going to be really hard to pull off. So I just built tanky. Like, if you need MR, like Force of Nature would be really good. Spirit Visage isn't that great for you since you don't have a Wriggles or anything. I guess Blood Razor is recommended, but I wouldn't. I don't like Blood Razor on the Udyr. I think you need to be tanky. You're doing plenty of damage between Ashe and Mordekaiser and TF, so I don't think Baron is soon because you just had it. I don't know. I didn't get the timer, but if Baron is soon, then that's good. No, you're recognizing that and getting ready for that, so that's good. But so at this point in the game, when you're jungling, the jungle is much less important than lane control. So if there's lanes to push out or farm, then you want to do that instead of farming your own jungle. And everyone's saying need farm, but one thing to know is, like, you guys are really far ahead. Like, your Mordekaiser is huge. So what you, like, this is actually bad for you guys. You don't want to just, like, have everyone farm, because all that's going to do is let the enemy team catch up. Because, I mean, Mordekaiser is 6 items. Look at Mord. He's full item build. He's not getting any stronger. So you guys should not be just farming, because by farming you're letting them catch up. If you are significantly ahead of the enemy team, mutually farming is a bad idea. You should be forcing and trying to force fights. And now you guys are in big trouble mid. Actually, it looks like they saw you with a ward, so they went to go kill you and abandoned the Leona, who had a great initiation. So very silly of them. I have no idea what that was, but oh, the blind Ashe arrow hits Ashe, so great. That was a really good arrow by Ashe. Mordekaiser's not there, so you guys have to be a little careful. But yeah, pausing real quick. Where was the Randuins? You didn't Randuins. Randuins would have helped out a lot right there. The other thing is that this is why you need tanky. This is why you don't need Razor and recurve bow, because you just die in team fights, right? If we look at Death Cap, you took a lot of physical damage, so even more armor could be helpful. But the Randoms would have helped a lot, because you would have slowed their attack speed by you have 300 combined armor and magic resist, so it would have slowed their attack speed by 35% for 3.5 seconds, so that would have been huge. But Mordekaiser can probably just clean this up. Yeah, so you guys are definitely going to clean this up, because Mordekaiser is just huge. But I'm hoping you see why you should build tanky instead of building this damage. I'm not sure why the Giants belt. I guess maybe you recognize that you need to be a little tankier, but Giants belt isn't the way to do it. Frozen Mallet, I don't like on Phoenix Udyr. You just need resistances are really good on Udyr, because your Turtle Shield gives you 220 shield every 5.39 seconds. So resistances will increase the effectiveness of your Turtle Shield. They'll increase the effective HP that gives you. So resistances are very good on Udyr because of that reason. But yeah, and your team's probably just going to win the game. Yeah, so that's game. So pretty well played. So there are kind of 2 categories of things that I think you should work on. The first is in general as a jungle. So as a jungle, the biggest things you need to work on is you never waste time in the jungle. That's the biggest mistake you can make in the jungle. And part of that is ganks should come naturally and where it's a good situation to gank. You don't look for ganks when you're like, hey, okay, well, I've cleared my jungle. I'm in the top half. I guess I'll see if I can get top or mid. No. Gank should come like, oh, they're pushed. I have this 10-second window for the perfect gank. I need to go do it right now. And then you go and you try to get that gank, and if it doesn't work, you don't sit and force it and wait. If you go and it's not a good time, you just go back and farm your jungle. The second thing is make sure to time their buffs and time your buffs and just have stronger buff sense. But the biggest thing is don't waste time. Like, do not waste time as a jungler. That's the biggest mistake you can make. The other thing you really need to work on is like Dragon and Baron. There's I called out like an easy opportunity to get Dragon, an easy opportunity to get Baron that you just walked literally right by the Dragon and Baron for. So look for those. Okay, and then so that's the general jungling thing is don't waste time ever and control buffs and Dragon and Baron. And then Udyr specific things. If you go Phoenix Udyr, don't get Razor. You don't need it. Blood Razor is a bad item to get on Phoenix Udyr because you need to get tankier, which I think that you're able to see. Like that last team fight, especially, you just died. Mechanically, when you play Udyr, Phoenix Udyr, in team fights, you pretty much just want to charge their carries and force them out of the fight. And the other thing is always make sure to keep 3 stacks of his passive up by stance dancing. But when you're team fighting in Udyr, the #1 stance you want to upkeep is Tiger. Sorry, not Tiger. Turtle. Pretty much every time it's up for the shield. The shield is ridiculous. It's very strong, especially if you have a lot of resistances on like a 5-second cooldown. So you want a Tiger every time it's up. You want a Bear stance to stun or when you need the move speed. So that's a situational one. And you want a Phoenix when you don't need the Turtle, pretty much. I'm sorry, I keep saying Tiger. Turtle, every time it's up. Bear if you need the stun or move speed. And Phoenix if you, pretty much, if nothing else. If you have a global cooldown and Turtle's on CD, or you're not taking damage and you don't need Bear stance right away. So. Other than that, it was not a bad game. I don't have too much to say, but buy more wards is another big thing. Please buy more wards. Jungle is one of the most important people to buy wards on because you're everywhere. You have the biggest presence on the map. You're everywhere, so you can really compensate for a deficiency in your wards by another lane by helping them out with wards. So, like if your top lane isn't warding, you can ward for them. If your mid lane isn't warding, you can ward for them. You can ward their buffs. You can ward everywhere. So, you did have that one ward that you warded the enemy blue, but it was a really bad time because you should have known that they just got the blue, and that ward is not going to see the blue at all. So, buy more wards and use them better. But other than that, not a bad game. I'll go ahead and answer any questions you guys might have now. You know, I only have 5 viewers, so it's not that many, but if you guys do have any questions, hop into IRC and feel free to ask me them, please. It's really easy to join IRC. You can just go to my website at rockalackalili.com. In fact, I'll show you guys. You just go to rockalackalili.com and you click IRC. Click, type in your nickname, hit join chat, and bam. Just like that, you're talking. Yeah, so. One thing I started doing is I started to try to climb the Soloki ladder. I haven't played in a few days, but it looks like the webcam's fine for me. I don't know. What do you mean it's fucked up? Like, what's wrong with it? On like my preview, it looks fine. So like this thing looks fine right here. I don't know. Let me look how it looks like in this.
Why do I watch pay-per-view? Because it's like having your face against the fence.
It's not a bug, it's a feature. Oh, I have kind of exciting news. I think the XSplit has developed a push to talk. I have kind of exciting news. Oh my god, I'm so loud. Am I that loud for you guys? Wow, that like just killed my ears. What the hell? I don't know why I'm so loud. No, it looks fine on my computer. Like, I think it's just you. Okay, well for me, that was like just broke my eardrums loud. So sorry if I'm that loud for everyone else, but thank you. Nice channel and commentary. Thanks. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not getting many viewers lately, but that's okay. I don't really care. I have my loyal viewers that watch me often and watch the VODs, so I don't really care if I don't get many live viewers, but at this point, I've resigned to that I don't care how many viewers I get because watching Ocelot get pwned. I'm not a big fan of Ocelot. But yeah, I've decided I don't really care how many live viewers I get because I've gotten just so much support from the people that do watch me. Say you are laning top Udyr versus MF, so you are Udyr versus an MF. In terms of build and how to play, was MF just building like normal AD carry build? So MF is kind of hard to build against because she does a pretty significant blend of magic damage and physical damage. Her W steroid, a lot of people just think of it as an attack speed steroid, and they really discount the bonus stacking magic damage on hit, which is ridiculous. And it's the reason why MF is so strong mid game. Like MF, I think probably has the highest DPS of all carries, like mid-ish game leaning towards the early game, because her W steroid is insane. People like to compare it to like Tristana's or Graves' attack speed steroid and say it's not as good. But what they don't realize is that the stacking magic damage on the hit does so much damage, and you combine it with double F that resets your attack timer. And like, let's because I don't remember the numbers, I'm gonna pull up the numbers real quick on this. Sorry. I will actually answer your question, but first I need to talk about Misfortune, because Misfortune's probably my favorite AD champion, and I think that she's significantly underrated. Well, maybe not so much anymore, but okay, so the magic damage on hit for impure shots, let's say at level 5. You hit level 5, and if this is what you're maxing, so at level 5, it's doing 10 stacking damage on hit. Stacks up to 4 times. So if you're playing MF, and you go auto attack, double up auto attack instantly, because it resets your auto attack timer, you get 3 hits off, so you do 3 times your normal AD. I mean, double up does probably about what your normal AD is gonna do at rank 1, because the base damage is 25. So it's gonna do roughly 3 times your normal AD, and then it's going to do so your first hit is gonna do 10, your next hit's gonna do 20, and your third auto attack's gonna do 30 magic damage. So that's an extra 60. So it's just like in that insta burst, you get 3 auto attacks and plus 60 damage. That's magic damage, so not mitigated by armor. So Misfortune does a lot of damage, and if you're gonna, I haven't played MF in a solo lane, but I imagine that if you play Udyr versus MF, you're probably gonna get zoned early, and the way to counter that is you just need to max Turtle, for one. Max the hell out of Turtle. Probably start Cloth 5. Cloth 5 is probably going to be your best start in general as any melee champion against a ranged champion, because you're going to take a lot of auto attack harass. And max Turtle, and just farm up. Once you get like rank 3 Turtle stance, you should be able to just Turtle stance pretty much any damage. You probably want to get Ninja Tabbies and some MR early too, because Misfortune does magic damage with their impure shots, her Make It Rain, and her ult. So it's a decent amount of magic damage, but I think, and in that situation, you should also have some coordination. You You should have some coordination with your jungle. MF should be very gankable, especially if she's playing really aggressive to zone you. But the other thing is, like, I feel like once you get, like, at least even rank 2 turtle stance, you should be able to CS fine. Like, you're going to take some harass from her, but you just go in and get the CS and take the harass and call it good, and, like, call it a day. Like, you're going to have to take harass to get CS in that lane. You just can't be afraid to do that. And then once you get, like, ranked 5 turtle stance, you should probably build a Wriggles, too. Like, if you get Wriggles, and between Wriggles and turtle stance, you should be able to just eat up any harass she has. And just farm away. So, but MF should also be very vulnerable to ganks. If she's playing really aggressive to zone you out, she should be so easy to gank. So that's something you should communicate with your jungle. If she's being really aggressive, just be like, hey, look, MF has, you know, no built-in escapes, and she's being really aggressive. So yeah, Ninja Tabby plus Rush Randuin's is probably okay. But remember that she does do a lot of magic. If you didn't have any MR in there, that might have been one of your problems, because she really does do a lot of magic damage. Like, if she's constantly auto-attacking you, you know, even at level 5, if she's level 5 and she's getting a lot of auto-attacks off on you, she's going to be doing 40 magic damage per hit if she gets this thing fully stacked. So that's if she auto-attacks you and then chases you for its next auto-attack. And if you don't let the stacks drop off of you, she's going to be hitting you for an extra 40 magic damage every hit. Like, that's insane. So you got to be really, really careful about that. And so if you just went Ninja Tappy and Randuin's, this impure shot stacking probably just chunked you. So be careful about that. Yeah, and that's one thing to watch, too, when you're playing against MF. If she goes aggressive on you and you back out, before you go back in, make sure to let the stacks drop off of you. So, I do love MF. She's like my favorite. I think I have a really good record with her in ranked games still, so far. Yeah, MF plus Janna is a very strong lane. It's my like favorite lane to run. Yeah, I have a really good Misfortune record in ranked. I think that she's probably my best champion, but I've seen some pretty strong. Yeah, so MF plus Janna is a really, really strong lane. So there's a couple ways you can counter that. You can counter that with very strong poke, but you can't fight that lane, especially at level 3. MF Janna, like level 2, 3, especially level 3, once Janna has all of her abilities, is like one of the strongest bot lanes there is. Like, you cannot fight that at level 3. You have to be very careful. So how do you counter that? You counter that with strong poke. That's one way to counter that. Like, if you run like Caitlyn, and like Caitlyn can just outpoke them, or if you have like Ezreal can outpoke them too. So that's one way to break that is you just outpoke them because they have no sustain. MF and Janna have no built-in sustain. So another way you can counter that is you can counter that with very strong someone else who's very strong early and very strong at fighting. People like Graves and Corki can trade hits with MF pretty well. You know, Corki just Qs and turns on his Gatling gun, and you know, he's going to be able to sit there and trade with MF. So that's in general how I think that you should approach that lane. You either pick a lane based on poking and wearing them down slowly, like Ezreal or Caitlyn, or you pick someone else who's very strong early, like Corki and Graves, and just trade hits with them very I don't run any special runes on MF, no. I just do flat AD. I think hybrid runes might work on MF. They might not be bad, but hybrid penetration runes, the magic physical or magic armor penetration runes. Okay, one more question. I guess I could just throw this up here so that everyone can see. If someone's not an IRC, they can see now. Let me change the color. Okay. I played Aurelia solo top versus Wukong a few times, and I just can't beat him. Wukong is very strong early. Depending on what items you start and what items they start. Wukong is a champion that if he gets ahead, he's going to stay ahead because he's very strong at fighting people. So you just have to make sure that you don't lose early to him. And Aurelia is a champion that's, it gets stronger as the game goes on. So you want to play really passively, at least until like level 5. If you went boots plus 3 pots, I think that's a mistake against Wukong. I think you should probably go cloth 5.